Good evening. I'm Rob Speyer, Chairman of the Real Estate Board of New York. Tonight we're taking a few minutes to highlight the impact of our regional transportation network and its importance to New York and to our industry. Last week, the MTA gave us a special preview of the never-before-seen, nearly completed number 7 subway station at 34th Street and 11th Avenue, located in the Hudson Yards neighborhood. When service begins at this beautiful new station, it will mark the first city-funded expansion of New York's subway system in 65 years. 65 years. This accomplishment underscores the importance of our industry collaborating with government and leveraging resources to fund the transit system that we all rely on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Working together, we can achieve great things. The extension of the number 7 line will serve as a new gateway to Midtown's West Side, providing residents, workers, and visitors with direct access to the Javits Center, to the High Line, and to Hudson Yards. Now, this is just one of many major transportation projects that are in the works throughout our region. We spoke with some of New York's leading transportation experts about what's planned and what's still needed to be done to accommodate our city's growth. Let's hear what they have to say.
In London, you can't buy coffee before 8 in the morning. In New York, people are at the gym at 5:30, they're working and having breakfast at 6:30, and then you can have 8 or 10 meetings because it's so easy to get around.
The population in New York is now 8.4 million and growing, predicted to grow by another 1.7 million in the next 20 years. And the city is vibrant and people are wanting to come here.
The key to understand New York is that we're a city of motion.
You won't see a major city in the world that wants to maintain its status as one of the financial centers not having an established link between real estate development and transportation infrastructure investment and reinvestment.
To do good planning in a city like New York or anywhere, you have to link transportation, real estate development, be it housing or commercial, economic development. They should all be done together.
The strength and growth of New York in the early part of the 20th century was intrinsically tied to the expansion of the subway system. And real estate development and expansions of the system went together. We're now at a point where we do need to have expansions of the system. There are 3 or 4 projects that are key to that. The first phase of the 2nd Avenue subway will open in December of 2016 so that we can provide good service for people on the Lexington Avenue line and provide new service on the Upper East Side to be able to get into the core business district. We've got the extension of the number 7 line, which will take people over to the West Side.
That's going to transform the neighborhood, first with Hudson Yards and then with the area around it.
Fulton Center is important because it ties together 7 or 8 different lines in Lower Manhattan. Grand Central Terminal as an icon, as a part of the fabric of New York City. I think as the years and decades go by, Fulton Center will be viewed the same way. East Side access will enable people in Long Island Railroad to be able to get Midtown access instead of West Side access into Grand Central. That is the biggest infrastructure project in the country right now. Its order of magnitude cost $10 billion. About 60 to 65% of the people that now ride the Long Island Railroad have an access destination point in the Midtown Manhattan area on the East Side, not the West Side. Not only will that provide access for them, but it will open up capacity on the West Side at Penn Station so that we can bring Metro North into Penn Station. It will also provide connectivity from the Southeast Bronx into Manhattan. As important is the ability for people to reverse commute. Much of Metro North's ridership growth over the last 10 years has been in the area of reverse peak commute, where people who are residents of New York City and Manhattan commuting to jobs in White Plains, Stamford, New Haven, etc.
Some of the other big priorities we have in the city, connecting, particularly connecting those that are not well connected to the transit system so that they can connect with jobs and opportunity through things like select bus service and working with the MTA to expand their capacity where we can.
The accessibility has to be by mass transit because you can move in one train, 10 cars, 2,000 people in a car, that's 2,000 people in a train.
Back in 1994, when I was head of subways at New York City Transit, we were carrying about 3.6 million people a day. Today we're carrying in the high 5 millions. All the major financial centers of the world, because they want to maintain their status as a financial center, they're making significant investments to the infrastructure to be able to do that.
This is a really important time to be talking about transportation in this region. It's a sort of a confluence of events. The city will soon be putting out its 10-year capital plan. The MTA has its 5-year capital plan, and they have a big funding gap in that. The state will be putting out its 5-year roads and bridges capital plan. So this is a great time to have this discussion.
We need to have a dialogue about who is going to pay. How can we identify new funding sources, and who will pay those?
Just like any transit investments, it's a wonderful generator of increased real estate values and increased commercial activity.
This is a far more productive place because we can move more people through and around the city and region than any other city in North America. That's what makes us productive.
As you've heard from these leaders, New York's future prosperity depends on our ability to move people. While it's critical that we maintain our current system, we can't stop there. We must also have the will to modernize and expand the network for an even greater tomorrow. These investments are costly, but we can't be deterred. The Real Estate Board of New York will continue our long and proud tradition of fighting for a robust transit system. From Midtown to every corner of the 5 boroughs, we are dedicated to creating a better connected city to benefit every New Yorker. Thank you.